66 million years ago, in the twilight of the dinosaurs' reign, a shadow fell across the forests of Asia, a predator so fierce it made even the mighty Tyrannosaurus Rex look like a newcomer to the game of terror. For decades, its existence was nothing more than whispers among paleontologists. A myth, a legend, until now. Oh my God, we found it. Prepare to meet the tyrant that ruled before, T-Rex, a creature that rewrites our understanding of prehistoric apex predators. This is Tarbosaurus I. In the lucky, but this is beyond our wildest dreams. What Dr. Chang and her team have found is no ordinary fossil. It's the nearly complete skeleton of a Tarbosaurus I, a fearsome predator that roamed Asia during the late Cretaceous period, some 70 million years ago. But why should we care about yet another big, scary dinosaur? Well, imagine finding out you had an older sibling you never knew about. One who was just as tough as you, maybe even tougher, and who paved the way for your success. Tarbosaurus isn't just another theropod, it's the key to understanding the entire Tyrannosaurid community or family. In many ways, it's the missing link between earlier carnivores and the T-Rex we all know and love. Over the next 3 hours, we'll piece together the life and times of this prehistoric powerhouse. We'll walk in its massive footsteps, see through its keen hunter's eye, and unravel the mysteries of its eventual extinction. But more than that, we'll explore what Tarbosaurus can tell us about ourselves, about survival, adaptation, and the ever-changing dance of life on Earth. This is just the beginning. Who knows what other secrets Tarbosaurus will reveal? Join us as we uncover the story of the T-Rex's brutal Asian older sibling, a tale 70 million years in the making. This is Asia's apex, the tyrant before T-Rex. From the harsh Mongolian desert to this cutting-edge laboratory, our Tarbosaurus has traveled across both time and space, but its journey of discovery is just beginning. Every grain of sand we remove, every crack we stabilize brings us closer to understanding this magnificent creature. But the story of Tarbosaurus doesn't start here. To truly appreciate this ancient predator, we need to go back, way back. 70 million years ago, the world was a very different place. The continents we know today were in constant motion, shifting and colliding in a grand geological dance. Asia, as we know it, didn't exist. Instead, there was a vast landmass we call Laurasia, which included parts of modern-day Asia, Europe, and North America. It was here, in what would eventually become Mongolia, that our story truly begins. Imagine a world teeming with life. Towering conifers and giant ferns create a verdant canopy. The air is thick and humid, filled with the buzz of insects and the calls of strange, long extinct birds. This is the stage upon which Tarbosaurus made its dramatic entrance. Tarbosaurus wasn't just another predator, it was the apex predator of its ecosystem. When it appeared, everything else scattered. But how did Tarbosaurus come to rule this ancient world? To answer that, we need to look at its family tree. Tarbosaurus belongs to a group of dinosaurs we call Tyrannosaurids. These were the top predators of the late Cretaceous period in Asia and North America. While T-Rex might be the most famous member of this family, it was actually one of the last to evolve. Tarbosaurus, on the other hand, was an earlier branch of the family. What's fascinating is how similar Tarbosaurus and T-Rex are despite evolving on different continents. It's a perfect example of convergent evolution. But to truly understand what made Tarbosaurus such a formidable predator, we need to look closer, much closer. At up to 12 meters long and weighing as much as 5 tons, Tarbosaurus was a true giant, but size alone doesn't make a super predator. Look at that skull. It's massively built with some of the strongest bite forces we've ever calculated for a terrestrial predator. Those teeth aren't just for show. They're serrated like steak knives, designed to slice through flesh and crush bone. But Tarbosaurus was more than just brawn. Its eyes, positioned for binocular vision, gave it excellent depth perception, crucial for judging distances when hunting. And don't forget those tiny arms. They might look comical to us, but they're a sign of specialization. Tarbosaurus didn't need strong arms because its powerful neck and jaws did all the work. Despite its massive size, evidence suggests Tarbosaurus was surprisingly agile. Fossil trackways indicate it could reach speeds for up to 20 miles per hour, not as fast as some of its prey, but more than quick enough to ambush unsuspecting victims. Every bone tells a story, from healed injuries that show a life of violent confrontations to growth rings that reveal its age. This skeleton is a biography written in stone, but perhaps the most intriguing tale these bones tell is one of the family resemblance. As we piece together this ancient puzzle, we can't help but see shadows of its more famous relative, T-Rex. The similarities are striking, but it's the differences that really get us excited. They hint at the unique challenges each species faced, the different paths evolution took on separate continents. As our team continues to unveil secrets of Tarbosaurus, one thing becomes clear. This was no mere understudy to T-Rex. This was a star in its own right, an apex predator that dominated its world for millions of years. But what was that world like? What creatures did Tarbosaurus hunt? And what dangers did it face? To answer these questions, we need to step back in time once more to an Asia that was both alien and alive with possibility. Welcome to the world of Tarbosaurus, a land both familiar and alien, where the rules of survival are written in blood and bone. The late Cretaceous period in Asia was a time of incredible biodiversity. We're talking about lush forests, winding rivers, and vast floodplains teeming with life. But life here was a constant struggle, a delicate balance between predator and prey, and at the top of this prehistoric food chain stood Tarbosaurus. Tarbosaurus wasn't just a mindless killing machine. It was a sophisticated predator with a range of hunting strategies. Despite its enormous size, Tarbosaurus was likely an ambush predator. It would use the dense vegetation as cover, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. But what was it hunting? That's where things get really interesting. The menu for Tarbosaurus was diverse. Fossil evidence suggests it preyed on everything from the duck-billed Saurolophus to the heavily armored Talaurus. Saurolophus would have been a favorite prey. at up to 12 meters long, they were large enough to provide a substantial meal but not so well defended as to be impossible to take down. But hunting such large prey was not easy feat, even for a predator as formidable as Tarbosaurus. The risk of injury was always present. A well-placed kick from a Saurolophus could easily break bones or cause internal injuries, yet the fossil record shows that many Tarbosaurs lived on an advanced age, their bones bearing the scars of numerous hunts and battles. These healed wounds tell us something crucial about Tarbosaurus. It wasn't just a lone hunter. There is growing evidence that it may have lived and hunted in family groups. The idea of pack hunting Tyrannosaurus is controversial, but it could explain how these massive predators were able to take down prey much larger than themselves. If Tarbosaurus did hunt in packs, it would have been an absolute terrifying sight. Imagine several of these multi-ton predators coordinating their attacks. But Tarbosaurus wasn't always hunter. Sometimes it was the hunted. While Tarbosaurus was the apex predator, it wasn't the only large carnivore around. We found fossils of other theropods that could have posed threat, especially to young or weakened Tarbosaurs. These confrontations would have been brutal, titanic clashes that shaped the very ecology of ancient Asia. But perhaps the greatest threat to Tarbosaurus wasn't other predators or even lack of prey. It was the world itself. The late Cretaceous was a time of significant environmental flux. Sea levels were rising and falling, climates were shifting, and the very ground beneath their feet was moving. Tarbosaurus had to be adaptable to survive. Its reign lasted for millions of years, which means it successfully navigated numerous environmental challenges. This adaptability was key to its success, allowing Tarbosaurus to dominate the Asian landscapes long before its cousin, T-Rex, rose to prominence of North America. By studying the rocks and fossils associated with Tarbosaurus, we can reconstruct its world in incredible detail, and what we're finding is changing our understanding of not just this dinosaur, but of the entire late Cretaceous period. As we delve deeper into the world of Tarbosaurus, we begin to see not just a fearsome predator, but a complex creature adapted to a challenging and ever-changing world. But how did this magnificent animal live? What was its day-to-day existence like? And how did it interact with others of its kind? To answer these questions, we need to look beyond the bones to the very behavior of Tarbosaurus. Dawn breaks over the ancient Asia landscape. As the mist clears, we catch our first glimpse of Tarbosaurus in its daily life. Like many modern predators, Tarbosaurus was likely most active during the cooler parts of the day, early morning and late afternoon. But what does a typical day look like for this apex predator? We can make educated guesses based on both fossil evidence and the behavior of modern relatives like birds and crocodiles. A Tarbosaurus might spend its day patrolling its territory, hunting, and interacting with others of its kind. Scent was probably crucial for Tarbosaurus. Like modern reptiles, they likely used pheromones to mark territories and communicate with potential mates. But communication wasn't always peaceful. Fossil evidence suggests violent confrontations between Tarbosaurus individuals were not uncommon. We found Tarbosaurus skulls with bite marks that could only have come from other Tarbosaurs. This suggests territorial disputes or competition for mates could turn deadly. Yet, despite this evidence of conflict, there are also tantalizing hints of more complex social behavior. Some fossil sites have yielded multiple pterosaur specimens of different ages found together. This could indicate family groups or even larger social structure. The idea of social Tyrannosaurus is revolutionary. challenging our long-held image of these animals as solitary monsters. If Tarbosaurus did live in family groups, it would have been profound implications for how we understand their hunting strategies, child rearing, and overall ecology. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Tarbosaurus' life is how they raised their young. We found fossilized Tyrannosaur eggs and nests. They show us that even as hatchlings, these animals were impressive. A baby Tarbosaurus would have been about the size of a small turkey, but already equipped with sharp teeth and claws. The young faced incredible dangers, not only from other predators but potentially from adult Tarbosaurus as well. Growing up in the late Cretaceous was no easy task. It would have taken many years for a Tarbosaurus to reach its full terrifying adult size. By studying growth rings in Tarbosaurus bones, we can tell that they had growth spurts similar to modern teenagers. They would have reached sexual maturity around 16 to 20 years of age. But even as adults, the life was a constant challenge. Hunting large prey was dangerous, and injuries could be fatal. The fact that we find Tarbosaurus fossils with healed injuries tells us two important things. They lived dangerous lives, but they were also capable of surviving significant trauma. This resilience was key to the success of Tarbosaurus, allowing it to dominate its ecosystem for millions of years. When we look at Tarbosaurus, we're not just seeing a monster from the past, but we're seeing a highly successful animal perfectly adapted to its time and place. But how did this Asian tyrant compare to its more famous cousin, Tyrannosaurus Rex? The answer to that question would revolutionize our understanding of Tyrannosaur evolution. As we delve into this prehistoric family rivalry, we'll uncover surprising similarities, crucial differences, and a shared legacy that would shape the fate of two continents. Two titans, two continents, one family. The story of Tarbosaurus and Tyrannosaurus Rex is a tale of parallel evolution and challenges. Our understanding of dinosaur diversity and adaptation. When we first discovered Tarbosaurus, many paleontologists thought it was just an Asian species of T-Rex. The similarities are that striking. Both were apex predators of similar size, with massive skulls, bone-crushing jaws, and tiny arms. But as we've studied them more closely, crucial differences have emerged. Tarbosaurus actually appeared earlier in the fossil record, about 70 million years ago, compared to T-Rex's 68 million years ago. This makes Tarbosaurus more like T-Rex's older cousin than its sibling. One of the most noticeable differences is in the skull structure. Tarbosaurus had a longer, lower skull than T-Rex, with eyes that faced more sideways. These differences might seem small, but they hint at variation in hunting strategies and sensory capabilities. T-Rex had more binocular vision, suggesting it relied more on eyesight for hunting. Tarbosaurus, with its more side-facing eyes, might have depended more on hearing or smell. But the differences weren't just in their heads, their entire bodies tell a story of adaptation to different environments. Tarbosaurus had slightly longer, more slender legs compared to T-Rex. This suggests it might have been a bit more agile, perhaps adapted for chasing prey across the open plains of ancient Asia. T-Rex, on the other hand, was built like a tank, with thicker legs and a more robust build overall. This could be because T-Rex evolved to take down the massive horned dinosaurs of North America, like Triceratops. Tarbosaurus didn't have to contend with prey quite that well defended. But perhaps the most intriguing differences lie in their brains. CT scans of Tarbosaurus and T-Rex skulls show that T-Rex had a larger brain relative to its body size. It also had larger olfactory bulbs. suggesting a better sense of smell. These differences paint a picture of two related but distinct predators, each perfectly adapted to their own environments. It's a beautiful example of convergent evolution, two branches of the same family tree evolving similar but distinct features to dominate their respective ecosystems. But why did these two giants evolve separately? The answer lies in the shifting geography of the late Cretaceous period. Around 80 million years ago, rising sea levels separated Asia and North America. This isolation allowed the tyrannosaurids on each continent to evolve independently. In Asia, this led to the rise of Tarbosaurus. In North America, it culminated in T-Rex. What's fascinating is that despite this separation, both lineages ended up as the apex predators of their ecosystems. It speaks to the incredible adaptability of the Tyrannosaurid family. But Tarbosaurus and T-Rex weren't just successful in their own right. They represented the pinnacle of theropod evolution, the culmination of over 100 million years of carnivorous dinosaur development. When we look at Tarbosaurus and T-Rex, we're seeing the most refined killing machines ever to walk the earth. Every feature, from their reinforced skulls to their powerful legs, was optimized for bringing down large prey. Their success was so complete that no longer large predators could compete in their respective domains. This level of dominance is almost unparalleled in the fossil record. It makes the mystery of their eventual extinction all the more intriguing. But that's a story of another time. For now, let's appreciate these two magnificent animals for what they were, the ultimate expression of nature's power and the ever-changing dance of evolution. As we continue to unearth new fossils and develop new technologies to study them, who knows what other secrets these prehistoric titans might reveal. The story of Tarbosaurus isn't just about the past, it's a living, breathing field of study that continues to evolve with each new discovery. Every time we think we understand Tarbosaurus, a new fossil or a new analysis technique comes along and challenges our assumptions. In recent years, our understanding of Tarbosaurus has been revolutionized by new finds and cutting-edge technology. One of the most exciting developments has been the use of CT scanning and 3D modeling to study Tarbosaurus fossils in unprecedented detail. These scans allow us to look inside the skull, to map blood vessels and nerve pathways. We can even estimate things like bite force and sensory capabilities with incredible accuracy. But it's not just about bones. The new techniques are allowing us to understand Tarbosaurus' world in ways we never thought possible. By studying the geology and chemistry of the rocks where we find Tarbosaurus fossils, we can reconstruct the climate and environment it lived with astonishing precision. These studies have revealed that Tarbosaurus lived through a period of significant climate change, adapting to warming temperatures and shifting ecosystems. This ability to adapt is crucial for understanding how Tarbosaurus was so successful for so long. It also has implications for how we think about modern climate change and its impact on ecosystems. Perhaps the most tantalizing frontier in Tarbosaurus research is the field of molecular paleontology. While we have found DNA in Tarbosaurus fossils, it simply doesn't last that long. We have found other organic molecules that can tell us about its biology. These molecules can reveal things like coloration, metabolism, and even aspects of soft tissue structure that don't typically fossilize. But as our knowledge grows, so too do the questions we ask. One of the biggest debates right now is about Tarbosaurus' place in the Tyrannosaur family tree. Was it a direct ancestor of a T-Rex, a cousin, or something else entirely? The answer to these questions could reshape our understanding of dinosaur evolution and biogeography. Another hot topic is Tarbosaurus behavior. Were they social animals? Did they care for their young? These are questions we're just beginning to address. As technology advances and new fossils are discovered, our image of Tarbosaurus continues to evolve. We're moving away from the idea of dinosaurs as lumbering, cold-blooded reptiles. Modern research paints a picture of Tarbosaurus as an active, possibly warm-blooded, highly successful predator. And as our scientific understanding grows, so too does public fascinating with these prehistoric giants. Tarbosaurus might not be as famous as T-Rex yet, but it's capturing imaginations around the world. It's helping us tell a more complete story of life on Earth. From museum exhibits to documentaries like this one, Tarbosaurus is stepping out of the shadow of its more famous cousin and into the spotlight of public consciousness. And that public interest is crucial. It drives funding for research, inspires the next generation of paleontologists, and helps us all appreciate the incredible history of our planet. As we continue to unravel the mysteries of Tarbosaurus, we're not just learning about a long-dead species, we're gaining insights into evolution, ecology, and the very nature of life on Earth. The story of Tarbosaurus is far from over in many ways. It's just beginning. We're journeyed across millions of years from the lush forests of Cretaceous Asia to the cutting-edge laboratories of today. We've met Tarbosaurus Batar, the tyrant T-Rex, and explored its world in unprecedented detail. Studying Tarbosaurus has revolutionized our understanding of tyrannosaurids and late Cretaceous ecosystems. It's shown us that the story of tyrannosaur evolution is far more complex and fascinating than we ever imagined, and it's opened up new questions about dinosaur behavior, physiology, and adaptation. But as we conclude our exploration, we're left with a bittersweet truth. For all its power and dominance, Tarbosaurus, like all dinosaurs, was destined for extinction. The end of Cretaceous period, about 66 million years ago, saw one of the most dramatic mass extinctions in Earth's history. A massive asteroid impact, combined with increased volcanic activity, led to rapid global climate change. The world Tarbosaurus had dominated for millions of years vanished almost overnight. It's a sobering reminder that how even the mightiest species can be vulnerable to sudden catastrophic change. Yet, the legacy of Tarbosaurus lives on not just in the fossil we study or the museums we visit, but in the very fabric of our world. The extinction of the dinosaurs paved the way for the rise of mammals, including eventually humans. And the descendants of dinosaurs, birds, continue to thrive, a living reminder of this incredible evolutionary legacy. As we face our own era of rapid environmental change, the story of Tarbosaurus takes on new relevance. Understanding how past species adapted to changing environments or failed to do so can provide crucial insights for conservation efforts today. In the end, Tarbosaurus teaches us about more than just prehistoric life. It reminds us of the delicate balance of ecosystems, their power of adaptation, and the ever-present possibility of change. Every fossil we uncover, every mystery we solve about Tarbosaurus helps us better understand our own place in the long, incredible story of life on Earth. As we close this chapter on Tarbosaurus, we're reminded that in science, every answer leads to a new question. The search for knowledge continues, driven by the same curiosity that first led us to dig into the earth and uncover the bones of giants. Who knows what other secrets lie buried in the rocks beneath our feet? What other magnificent creatures are waiting to be discovered? The story of life on Earth is far from complete, and each of us has a role to play in uncovering it. This has been Asia's Apex, the tyrant before T-Rex. Hit that subscribe button now and press on the video now popping on your screen. I'm sure you will love it. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and see you there.